Greetings everyone, my name is Greg. In this video, I am going to be talking about the tyranny of Christianity. These are things that I have noticed over the years, and it doesn't necessarily limit to fundamentalists. These are things that I have seen in basically all Christians. Now, the first one is something that is characteristic of basically the Abrahamic religions, and that is the aspect of thought crime. Because even if you go back to the Ten Commandments, the first few are about thought crime, the thoughts that you have. And that in itself is tyrannical. But when you get into the New Testament with Jesus, he takes it to an absolutely moronic level with the idea of if a man looks on a woman to lust, he's committed adultery in his heart. This is stupid because I can't commit adultery. It's impossible. Adultery is only able to be committed by someone that is married. Someone like me that is not married, is impossible for them to commit adultery. It doesn't matter what thoughts are in my head. And the aspect of what someone thinks, so what? What they think doesn't matter. What they do matters. A person's thoughts only matter insomuch as the thoughts will determine the direction that their impulses and their actions take. But it is what they do that matters, not what they think. You can think all you want. I want to kill this person. As long as you don't act on it, there's no harm. It doesn't, and for anyone to try and act like if you don't think the right thing, that you should be treated as a criminal, that is tyrannical. It is, bottom line, it eliminates freedom of any kind, because you can't have freedom or free will without having freedom of thought. But the next thing that I've noticed that is common with so many Christians is if they don't like something, they want it banned. And they take this attitude and push it at the atheist when the atheist says there's no evidence to believe that a God exists, because they look at anything that they don't like or don't agree with, that it should be banned or not a choice for anyone to make. They take that as there shouldn't be the choice of believing in a God. They want to impose their attitude of how anything they don't like needs to be completely removed as what the atheist is saying. I'm an anti-theist as well, and I'm not saying take away the freedom of choice that people have. But I'm saying that the government has to stay out of the religion subject entirely. Because if the government makes a ruling regarding religion, it gives a great big fuck you to everyone else. Everyone loses freedom of religion because the government is mandating a religion. This is what the Christians don't fucking realize. Or they do and they just don't care. And they want to have the tyranny of you have to think as we say or be tortured. Because that's really what it comes down to. In that regard, they're no different from ISIS. Yeah, they're not able to go around beheading people at this point. But they can't grasp the aspect of, let's use the aspect of marijuana. A lot of people that are major religious and so forth don't like the aspect of legalizing marijuana. Personally, I don't care. I see it as having positive benefits that help people, but there are aspects of where people do wacky shit, but I think they would do that wacky shit even without that drug per se. The thing is, do I like marijuana myself? Actually, no. I've tried it. I don't like it at all. I felt it caged my mind. The thing is, that's me. That was the experience I had with it. It's not a matter of me trying to say what someone else should be able to choose and what they shouldn't. It's not based on wanting to dictate the choices someone else has. It is me simply saying, for me, I don't agree with it, I don't like it, for me. But as far as legalizing it, as far as I'm concerned, hell yes. Legalize it. Because just the aspect of the taxes that would come in because of the legalization of it would greatly increase and help the economy. But there's also the fact I don't play sports. Just because I don't like basketball, I don't like golf, I don't like any of that shit, doesn't mean I want it banned or I want it wiped out. No, I just don't participate in it. And this is where the aspect of their bullshit with prayer also comes in. Because that's a bullshit activity they believe in. I've said, don't pray for me. In short, don't involve me in that activity. Don't direct that activity at me. But they can't respect that. Because the aspect of respecting somebody else means they have to be a mature, reasonable adult. And a lot of them, they refuse. They like their scapegoating, they like their thought crime, so they don't want to have to be responsible for what they're doing. They don't want to have to change their behavior, even though the word repent means change your behavior. They want to be able to mouth words and claim they think something, so that makes it all better. Who cares how they treat people? The thing is, how you treat people is at the center of whether or not you have changed your behavior or repented in your terms. If you haven't changed your behavior, then the thoughts you have don't matter. You're going around and you're continuing to do the same stupid bullshit you have been. So the aspect of being forgiven, you can't be. Because you haven't changed your behavior. Your wanting a scapegoat doesn't matter. It can't negate what you have done. There is also the fact of, if you have done something that has harmed someone else, even if you change your behavior, you still have the cause and effect from what you have done. You can't act as if, and I'll use drinking as an example. You can't go out and get drunk and then be, okay, I'm not drinking now, so I shouldn't have a hangover. Bullshit. You have the cause and effect of the choices you made. You can't go out and get shit-faced and then babble to a Jesus and say you're sorry and you repent and you stop drinking type of thing after you're shit-faced and goobered and be, okay, now I don't have to experience the consequences. Bullshit. You still have to, you set the cause in motion, you have the effect that's coming from that cause. What you think regarding a Jesus doesn't matter. What you think regarding a God doesn't matter. If you want to have those thoughts are all well and good. They don't do a hell of shit. But you can have those thoughts. It doesn't negate the cause and effect of what you do. Lastly, there is the aspect of torture. Comparing fundamentalist Christians to ISIS is something that they would immediately bitch about and be, Christians aren't going around beheading people, man. The thing is, they're not doing their torture because they can't get away with it in our society, in the United States. Back during the Inquisitions, when Christianity was the government-approved religion, that you had to be pretty much Catholic or die, they were. They were going around torturing anyone that didn't think like they said, or that spoke against what they said. They were acting very much like ISIS. The thing is, these Christians want to act like, since that was going on in the past, that it doesn't apply to them. The mindset is still there. And we see that mindset present, even though they can't engage in that activity because of the society of the United States. We see it with how they want anyone that doesn't think like them tortured in an afterlife. They might want to claim that they're opposing the aspect of torture, that they want to save you from that. But the bottom line is, they go right along with it. You can't claim to be against torture and at the same time Sig Heil. That's what they're doing. They might as well go Hail Hitler, because their God is a Hitler. They are just like the German Nazis that went along with Hitler because he was the leader. They're no different. And it didn't wash at the Nuremberg trials for those German soldiers to say we were only following orders. It's not an excuse. It doesn't relieve you of the responsibility of what you did. When you engage in an activity that you know is wrong, even if it is something that is in a fictional afterlife, if you're able to devalue someone to the point where you would go along with them being tortured in a fictional afterlife, then logically you would go along with them being tortured in real life. That is why these Christians that go along with this, I feel, need to be treated as potential terrorists. Not that they are doing anything wrong per se, but that their actions should be a red flag that they could potentially be one to engage in the torture of others, as long as their religion would be basically a theocracy. As long as there's a theocracy in a government, they will feel they have the right to engage in that. Because one of the things that was mentioned, when Matthew Shepard was murdered, the Christians that killed him because he was gay, when they were taken to, when charges were filed, they wanted to cry religious discrimination, that they were acting on their religion, that it was freedom of religion. Your religion does not give you the right to murder. It is obnoxious to try and act like the freedom of your religion means you can kill those you don't like. Because I challenge anyone, find anything that Christians don't agree with that they aren't trying to get banned. They don't agree with homosexuality. They want that wiped out. They don't agree. A lot of them have problems with violent video games, or they call them violent video games, and they want them wiped out. A lot of them have problems with heavy metal music, and they want to get that wiped out. Not just having labels on it. They want it gone. These people aren't just wanting to have warning labels. Oh, fuck no. They're also opposed to the aspect of freedom of choice, pro-choice. For the aspect of abortion, they want to wipe that out. They want to remove that choice. I can't think of a single thing that they don't agree with that they aren't saying they want it gone. If you can think of a damn thing, I would be curious. But I have yet to see it. And it seems to fit that is why when the atheist says, I see no evidence for the existence of a God, they take that in their mind as no one should believe this. While there is, in a sense, there's no evidence to support that idea. The atheist is not trying to tell you what to think. And here's one last bit for Christians. When you're engaging in a conversation with somebody, be it online, be it in real life, be it wherever, and you are trying to preach your bullshit at them, and they tear into your bullshit and point out the flaws in it, they're not pushing beliefs on you. You're having a conversation. If you don't want to hear any idea but yours, keep your fucking mouth shut. Do not try to talk to anyone. Because when you're talking to others and you want them to listen to you, to what you're saying, you have to turn around and listen to what they say. It's not one way. It's not all for you and fuck everyone else. A conversation means give and take. If you do not want to take, keep your fucking mouth shut. You won't have that problem. It's real simple, but a lot of you don't want to do that. You want to have it all your way and fuck anyone that doesn't agree with you. That's tyrannical. But it seems, at least a lot of the Christians that I've run into, tyranny seems to be what they call paradise. I would love to hear your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Later, people.